Hello everybody and welcome to another cello tutorial. I'm Ilia Laporev and I'm presenting to you Studies of the Young Cellist by Louis Feuillard. In today's video we're gonna cover exercise or study number 21, which is a study for the left hand, you got it, both first and second positions. So as usual I'm gonna run through the whole exercise so you can have an idea how it sounds like, and then after that I'm gonna show you a couple of things that you need to pay attention. So especially this exercise is going to be for the left hand, so we're not going to pay so much attention on the right hand, although always we can find some things, right? Okay, before we continue with this video, if you want to see more tutorials, if you want me to see completing this whole book by Feuillard, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're always aware of upcoming videos. And oh, one more thing before I forget. I started a new series, which is the PAT Complete Cello Method. In these videos there, I'm playing both the parts, because there are two parts, right? The part of the student and the part of the teacher, so in each song. So I'm playing both the parts, and well, when you practice the first part very well, then you can play along with me with the second part, all right? So these videos are gonna appear right here. So for the moment, I have made one. Well, with that said, let's go right into it and let's do this study for the left hand. Let's go. Right, so as you have noticed, it's purely for the left hand. So this exercise is focusing really on the left hand. So here, this is going to be quite a short tutorial because there are not so many things to tell, but there are a couple of things that you need to pay attention, first of all. So, as we see in the first measure, we see one note. So, we see this note, right? And then the next note is the same note, but with another fingering. So we need to go there, okay? So what happens often? So what people often do? They jump too high, or they just are afraid to jump, to shift, let's say, right? So they do like this. So they go too far. What is the trick here? So check it out. So here's my left hand. I'm gonna do the first measure, okay? So very slowly. So here we are at this note. We know that the next note is going to be the same, just with another fingering. But we're going to push the other fingers. Can you see? One more time. We push. So see, we need to do that kind of movement. So here, what you can do in this exercise, so you find in each measure that pattern, right? So in the first measure, let's do a couple of measures so you have an idea what I'm talking about. The first measure, we play. Aha, there we have the first one. So we're gonna practice this separately. We take a look over here. And we practice this separately, and we go back. So same principle when you go back. You push. So I don't want to see fingers over there. This is wrong. This is not going to work. So really, from the string, actually on the string, sorry. One more time. Now we go back, right? So this was measure number 1. Now in the second measure, let's see what we have here. So, there we got it. So we're gonna practice this again separately. Same principle. So you push with the fingers. Then we go to the third measure. So what we got there? This one. So again, same thing. And push. So I don't want to hear other notes. I don't want to hear this. No, I want to hear the same note. So be very precise. What's gonna happen now? So push and go, like that, right? So do that for the whole exercise. So bar per bar, so measure per measure, you find where are these little mini shifts, okay? Then afterwards, when you have found all of these hidden small shifts, then you can do per parts. I'm gonna show you how. So first part would be this. Practice that. Repeat 10 times, 20 times, until you get it. Okay, fine. Let's say that you've got it, you understood it, and it's working fine. Now, what you can do is like this. So you play the first note, and you stop. You do that again a couple of times. Then, when this goes well, then you do the whole measure. Fine. And the same is going to happen afterwards in second bar, third bar, fourth bar. So here we're at the second measure. So we do that separately. Okay, when we got this, then we play through. So I don't want to hear, you know, strong glissandos or all these kind of things, but I want to hear accuracy. So be active with your hand, so that kind of pushing and like that. Sure? Okay, so once you have done that, okay, then I think the whole exercise is gonna be in your hands. Now, what is the difficulty here also? In the right hand, bow distribution. So what happens often is that people do like that. So pay attention. This is terrible, right? It sounds terrible, and this is not the sound that you wish for, yeah? So what you can do in order to control very well the bow distribution. So we analyze, we see there are 8 notes in one measure, right? So let's divide this in 2. Let's do 4 notes and then 4 notes. Check it out. Stop, and you check where you are. If you are near the middle of the bow, so a little bit further or a little bit less than the middle of the bow, you're doing it fine. Because if it happens that you're playing and you're seeing that you're almost near the ending of the bow, then it means this is wrong. So calculate very well. So split practically your bow in 2. So do we do like this? Stop. 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 See how it goes? So don't get tricked, because we have 8 notes in one bow and it goes pretty fast, like ya, pa, 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 pa. So don't get tricked. If it goes fast in the left hand, don't go fast in the right hand. Actually, the faster it goes here, the slower it goes in the right hand. So 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I suggest to you, before doing even this exercise, play open strings and count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So don't do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Because you see what happens. This is gonna happen. So really open strings. Try to get the feeling too. 3, 4. Really on the string, you know, make the string go round or circle, I don't know, but really go deeply into the string. Try to produce a nice, beautiful sound on the cello. So this is an exercise that also, you know, you can develop a little bit your right hand, your right arm actually. Starting with the first measure, because it's the C string, so it's low. So you can enjoy, you know, to produce a nice, fatty sound, you know, full of butter. But be careful not to press. The force and the sound doesn't come from the fingers or from the wrist. I mean, of course, they do help, but everything comes more from the arm. Try to produce, you know, a deep, beautiful sound. So this is important here. Right, when you got this about the bow distribution, then I think it's gonna get easier, but do that also part per part. So divide the bow in two, okay? So play the first notes like that and then the rest. Because why is that bow distribution? Why is this important? Because when you save bow and you go until the middle, then you have lots of space to play the rest, and they're gonna sound equally. They're gonna sound equally as here when you start, because it's easy to play the whole thing and then you don't have, or either you're gonna disappear or either you're gonna press, and then the sound is not going to be beautiful, deep, round and solid. All right, I'm actually mixing up things a little bit, so I went from the left hand to the right hand and now I'm gonna go back to the left. But okay, it's because I remembered one thing also here in line, let me find it. Where is that? So in line 2, second measure, we have a shift, right? So we have this one, that one. So what happens often? People do this kind of shifting, check it out. So they go actually on the string, that's not the point, don't do that. Go instead, like lift your finger and hit it, articulate that finger. That's very important. So please avoid this. Now I want activity. I want activity in the left hand, in the shiftings and the articulation, everything. Because when there is no articulation, when there is no activity at all, when your fingers are jelly, then you don't have a good precision, and then when you don't have a good precision, then your intonation is really going more or less, right? So this is important. One more time I'm gonna show you. So practice that shift. And be careful, when you do articulation, don't use the whole arm. So not like this. No. The strength comes from here, from that part over here. This. So you're relaxed, but active in the meantime, right? So that was another point that I wanted to mention. Now the last thing here for this lesson. So we go now to line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the fifth line. And we have the third measure. So we have a jump, a small jump. So this one. That one, okay? So how can we, you know, avoid surprises like this one, for instance? So pay attention, what do I do here in my left hand? Did you see what did I do? One more time. So I prepared with anticipation, so it goes like this. So the moment I play the open string, I look at my third finger, where it's placed. So now I play the open string, and my first finger is already in position to hit that note. One more time. Ready? So don't wait too long, don't do this. No. Right? So this was for in the 5th line, 3rd bar. This happens also the bar afterward. It's a different pattern, but still. Here. So on the moment you play the open string, your hand is moving to hit that, because or else it's gonna sound like this. Oops, wrong. So ready, and always that one, that articulation, not this, that one. See, so this is very important. So pay attention to these things that I've mentioned and you're gonna be totally fine with this exercise. This exercise is really not that hard. We've done already harder pieces like the previous one. This was a really annoying one for the right hand, for the dotted notes. Good, and the last thing that I want to say here. Okay, I played one particular tempo. I was playing ya pa 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 a little bit faster, right? If it's too fast for you, no problem to do that slower. You can divide each bar per 2. So instead of playing 8 notes in 1 bar, you can play 4 notes in 1 bar and slower. Like this, for instance. So that's no problem at all. I even highly recommend to do it slower. You know, so in order to really pay attention and find things and to hear things also, if something is out of tune or if something is really not going well, then you can practice that. So slowly first, and then bit by bit, when you master it, when everything is getting in your hands, then you try the whole thing through in tempo. Well, that's it actually for today's video. It's pretty simple exercise. It's not the most exciting exercise, but they're extremely good, you know, for that, to know the fingerboard as well, and for this kind of mini shift. So this is a very healthy exercise. Do that and you're gonna be totally fine. Then in the next video we're gonna cover number 22. So we're already, you know, like progressing a lot in this book. I'm sure we're gonna come soon to the complete book, which is 60 exercises. I mean, it's quite some, but we're gonna do this together. All right, guys? So have a great practice, enjoy your week, and we'll see us in the next lesson with study number 22 by Feuillard, Studies of the Young Cellist. See you, bye-bye.